Welcome to Learn to Live Stress-Free. This is Christine Wright with Dr. Robert Wright, Jr., your go-to wellness coaches of www.stressfreenow.info. At StressFreeNow.info, we help you identify the stress in your life and give you loads of information about how to relieve the stresses of everyday life to make you happier in just a few short days. When you coach with us, you'll benefit from our keen insights gleaned over many years so that you quickly increase your confidence, identify and remove blocks to accelerate your performance so that you successfully accomplish your goals. We help you to live a stress-free life so you can live longer and play with your grandchildren.
Hi, I'm Dr. Bob. The StressFreeNow.info podcast series will cover a wide range of stress-related topics which will address solutions for everyday pain points many people are wrestling with, such as overwhelming anxiety and panic attacks, stress burnout, grief and bereavement, and chronic pain. We will often present novel and easy-to-implement stress management solutions that benefit you, the client, such as aromatherapy, hypnosis, open focus, sound healing, and tuning fork healing. In our interviews, we will bring you guests who have cutting-edge solutions to a host of issues that can benefit your productivity and enhance your performance while simultaneously reducing your stress and anxiety. Our podcast guest interviews are meant to intrigue and pique your curiosity, as well as spur your creativity and growth by covering topics such as using altered states of consciousness to explore your dream content while being fully aware, otherwise known as lucid dreaming, altering your brainwave patterns for improved effectiveness and performance, sometimes known as neurofeedback, and we will cover some of the tougher issues such as how to survive and thrive after being bullied, or how to get a good night's sleep when you are constantly on the go, how to overcome writer's block when you have been stuck for a long time, or how to stop a panic attack right before it starts or once it starts. We and our interview guests will entertain you and share our expertise and hard-earned wisdom with you during the Stress Free Now podcast series so that learning will be a good use of your time. Thanks for listening in, and be sure to sign up for our podcast series by clicking on the subscribe button.
Listeners, now I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Bob. Dr. Bob is an author, speaker, and stress management wellness coach who is a graduate of the doctoral program in transformative studies at the California Institute of Integral Studies. His passionate goal is translating the significance and implications of scholarly stress and nitric oxide spiking research into language and practical techniques which can improve the healthy well-being of the general public. Dr. Bob's research findings demonstrate that the same physiological mechanisms needed to induce relaxation also help us dissolve our pain and grief. His study bolsters the linkage between the physiological mechanisms underlying the relaxation response in any method which causes a relaxation response to occur. Dr. Bob's study is the first published study to show a correlation between grief, stress, and nitric oxide flatlining, and grief recovery, stress reduction, and nitric oxide spiking. Dr. Bob is dedicated to educating individuals on the benefits of stress reduction. His most recent ebooks include Orgasmic Relaxation, Unleash the Power of Your Mind to Relax Using the Tension Relieving Technique, and 7 Tips for Avoiding Stress Burnout for the Busy Entrepreneur. He is a certified open focus trainer who holds a master's degree in psychology from Union Institute and University. Dr. Bob offers private and group training in methods to lessen your stress, pain, grief, and anxiety so that you can feel better.
Thank you, Christine. And now, listeners, it is my privilege to introduce Christine to you. Christine coaches highly sensitive introverts to access their personal power, encouraging them as they eliminate habitual patterns of resistance. If you feel overwhelmed by the speed of life and the constantly increasing demands on your time, attention, and energy by a never-ending list of obligations, she'll show you how to manage the pace of incoming requests and prioritize your activities. Her gentle approach, coupled with her intuition and strong organizational skills, helps clients organize their aptitudes and play to their strengths. You will quickly be able to increase your confidence to identify and remove your internal blocks, to improve your performance, and to achieve your desired results successfully with ease. An innately curious alternative thinker, Christine has a passion for coaching, teaching, and sharing information. Her versatile experience spans careers in performing dance, elementary and secondary education, nonprofit community-based organizations, retailing, administration, management, and publishing. Christine is a double NYU graduate holding a BS degree in dance education from NYU Steinhardt School and a Master's of Arts degree in interdisciplinary arts from the NYU Gallatin School. Christine studied ideokinesis under the iconic and adored Andre Bernard. She is a certified seminar leader and a certified practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming, or NLP. She is also skilled in the use and application of the law of attraction and the use of ideokinesis in facilitating ease and flow in movement. Christine brings warmth, insight, humor, and experience to her work with individuals and groups. Her approach helps you live your life in integrity with congruence in your thoughts, feelings, actions, and results. Christine believes that by being true to your own values and beliefs, you'll be better able to realize your hopes and create an ideal, authentic life for yourself.
Thank you so much, Bob. Audience, we'd like to share with you the type of work that we do, so I'll be asking Bob and he'll be asking me a series of questions about how we work. So to get started, Bob, what problems are your ideal clients trying to solve when they come to you, and what are the typical challenges that they're seeking help with?
Thank you, Christine. The typical challenges that ideal clients are seeking help with are issues such as stress burnout or chronic fatigue, chronic pain, anxiety and panic attacks, mind fog, sleep deprivation or insomnia, time compression issues, performance enhancement, grief recovery, self-discovery, dream analysis, implementing fun into their routines, dealing with procrastination, dealing with writer's block, and travel goals. Interestingly enough, many people have a desire to travel and are looking to do that.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bob.
Christine, what about yourself? Can you tell our audience what problems are your ideal clients trying to solve when they come to you?
My clients are entrepreneurs, writers, creative professionals, and generally they're looking for accountability in completing a project that they're working on, something that they may have become stalled in. They're working to overcome feelings of self-doubt or overwhelm in their personal lives or in their professional lives. What worked for them once might no longer be working. They may have lost their motivation or direction, and they've come to an impasse in their work, and they're experiencing some type of inertia. So what they've been doing, now that it's no longer working, they may have had systems that were always foolproof, and now something's happened, and they're experiencing time crunches, energy drains, they're snapping at their family and friends, and they're spiraling into negative thought. So I help them resolve those issues.
Great. Thank you, Christine.
Now, Bob, what do you do to help your clients solve their problems?
Christine, thank you for asking that. This is what I call pain point solutions. Many people are living in what I call an emergency mode style of living. In a way, their lives consist of clusters of patterns or behaviors where it can seem or feel as if they are putting out one fire after another, even though they aren't firefighters. When clients work with me, my approach helps them identify these patterns and behaviors which may be undermining their healthy well-being and their quality of life. I explore with the clients the notion that learning how to relax systematically is a key way to boost productivity, creativity, and happiness, and that it's important to understand that it's okay to engage in self-care. This often means showing an individual how to let go of any guilt they might associate with giving themselves the attention they want, need, and deserve. Since most people are familiar with the airline metaphor, in an emergency, put on your own oxygen mask first before assisting others, when explained this way, they get it. My approach assumes that each client is a unique individual with unique needs. First, I offer a complimentary wellness coaching session to determine what the issues are for any potential client and whether working with them would be a good fit. Second, when I take on a client, I use an active ear listening approach in order to hear and grasp what a client might be saying underneath their words. Research studies have consistently demonstrated that for many people, the words that they use only represent a small percentage of the actual meaning. I believe that the last study that I saw showed that only approximately 77% of the meaning of any communication between people takes place with the words. So to get at true meaning, active listening is required. Third, I work with clients to identify their most pressing pain points during each session, and that can change from session to session. Unlike with therapy, I work with the client to achieve measurable, immediate, and short-term results, because that's why people come to me and come to us. They'd like to get results right now. My approach helps the ideal client to begin feeling better right during and after their first session. The fourth thing that I do is that I customize and tailor wellness coaching sessions in a way that works for that particular individual. For instance, if a client is highly visual, I will use visual approaches which get results for them. If a client has a strong auditory orientation, I'll use sounds and words differently so that it excites and motivates that client to achieve their results. Likewise, I use different approaches for people who have a strong kinesthetic or auditory digital orientation. Clients are pleased when they feel heard and understood, and I think anybody understands that when you're talking to them and they feel heard, that's very important. I work to let them know that I get it, and so that we can be on the same page, and that results in getting good results that enhance the client's well-being and quality of life. Some of the techniques that I use to help clients solve their issues are open focus. I use NLP, particularly submodalities clarification, Ericksonian hypnosis. I use the dissolving pain technique, which I invented. I use the tension relieving technique, which I invented. I use Jungian dream analysis. And I show individuals how to spike their nitric oxide by generating a relaxation response. And I also use the brain plasticity enhancement technique, which is also another technique that I invented.
Thanks so much, Bob. You know, I've seen you working in workshops that we've presented together, and it's definitely true. After each workshop, every single time, 90% plus to 100%, I would say, of the audience experiences some relief in their pain and their tension and their anxiety. So I've witnessed seeing that what you do works and works quickly. Now, while we share certain trainings, you and I do work with clients very differently. When I work with my clients in solving their problems, likewise, I help them to clearly identify the problem that they're having. Sometimes it's a structural problem. There's some real external block to getting done what they want to get done. Other times it's some type of internal psychological resistance that's keeping a client from taking positive action or making a beneficial change. Any number of emotional fears can hold someone back. We've heard about fear of failure and fear of success. Oddly enough, you would ask, why would someone fear success? But fear of success can trigger feelings of loss, that someone will realize, if I become successful, I may lose my friends. If I become successful, I'll have more notoriety, I'll have more income, and people may not like me for who I am. They may like me for my position or for my wealth. So just thinking about a change sometimes may trigger a fear. I also work with clients who may need to get more skill. They may think that the problem is something wrong with them, but the only thing wrong is that they need to learn a new skill, get support in doing the work that they're doing, or get some additional information or work with the right type of partner or advisors. One of the things that I really enjoy doing with my clients is helping them to improve their self-talk. There are many times that we have thoughts in our heads and words that we use, and they don't really serve us. We can use our words against us without realizing it. We might say something like, oh my gosh, I am always tired. I'm never on time. No one likes me. Everyone is against me. Every time I go there or go there, go someplace, something happens. So those things are not necessarily true, but we use that type of language, and we need to realize that when we're talking, ask yourself, is what you're saying true? Is what you're thinking true? We sometimes will globalize a problem, and that immobilizes us from taking action. So I help my clients to identify where they might be doing that, and then we move forward to try and correct those issues.
Great, Christine. Now that you said that, could you just share with our audience what are some of the benefits that your clients experience?
Generally, very early in my coaching, my clients show an increase in confidence. They immediately feel better because they're starting to look at things differently. They're looking at their situation differently, and they're looking at themselves differently. And they're able to own their accomplishments, and they're able to own their skills and level of performance. So by getting a perspective, a more accurate perspective on their problem and their abilities, and learning to identify what they're doing that's working and not working, they move forward very quickly. The clarity, the insight, the confidence is a great boost to their energy. I also teach my clients about self-care, that it's important to have support, to be kind to themselves, to celebrate their success. And I also teach the importance of tracking progress and just keeping a good gauge on what they're doing and how well they're doing it, and noticing and focusing on what works.
That's great, Christine, because one of the really great things about working together is that the benefits that you offer clients sync really well with the type of benefits that the clients that I work with get. So, for example, the benefits that clients working with me typically experience reduced stress, reduced anxiety, reduced emotional pain, reduce physical pain, increase mental clarity, increase energy, increase ability to focus and concentrate. Clients increase their ability to handle the effects and symptoms of grieving or grief recovery, and they increase their ability to successfully manage their time with more fun incorporated into their lifestyle. And I think, Christine, that's something that we talk about, this thing of it's okay to play at a high level, and that people shouldn't apologize that playfulness and relaxation and effectiveness and peak experience all go together. And another thing that I do in terms of the benefits for clients is that I assist clients to increase their awareness of the critical role that getting a good night's sleep plays in healthy well-being, and also the role of rest and the importance of rest. And a good example of that is that in the wild, lions spend 40% of their waking time just resting. So, we live in a society where people seem to think that the only way to live sometime is to be constantly doing something, and a key aspect of increasing your productivity, your creativity, and your longevity, as well as the quality of your life, is to incorporate a good sleep regimen and rest without any guilt and because that's not laziness, it's actually a good strategy for peak performance. The last thing I'll say is that a very important part of the coaching that I do with clients is to show people how what the game is really about is learning to shift the locus of control to themselves, and so that it becomes an internal responsibility for their healthy well-being rather than thinking that it's something outside of themselves. So I help clients to understand that when they pay attention to how they're feeling, or even pay attention to especially how they are paying attention, are they narrow focused, and when you stay narrow focused for too long, that can result in chronic conditions and pain. And as you increase your awareness, you can learn to modulate or voluntarily control how you're paying attention. And the benefit of that is that, for example, if you're driving, that when somebody cuts you off or makes you miss the light, you don't blow your top, and you can stay relaxed. Your blood pressure doesn't skyrocket. And the main thing is that it allows you to stay on your perch and not let other people have you feeling that the tail is wagging the dog. And so it gives you a locus of control where you have a sense that you are in more control of your healthy well-being, your stress, anxiety, and all the research shows that people with an increased locus of control have lower stress levels, have lower blood pressure, have lower levels of anxiety. So that's all very good.
Thank you, Bob. That is so very true. Excellent.
So, Christine, could you tell our audience what type of background, can you just talk a little bit about your background?
Well, yes. My formal education has been in dance education, my undergraduate work, and my graduate work was in interdisciplinary arts. I've done professional dancing, and I've taught in New York City, both at the primary and secondary levels. I ran an after-school program, an inner-city after-school program, a nonprofit for many years, which was a really great experience because unlike the regular classroom where the class size is often too large to handle and too large to give the students the individualized attention they need, in the after-school program, it was a pleasure because I was able to have very, very small class sizes. The students got individual attention. I taught academics and art, so that was a great experience. My career has run the gamut from administration and management. I started out actually in my before I went to college working in retailing at the old Abraham and Straus in Brooklyn, New York. I may be dating myself, but that was a fun experience, the Brooklyn of old. And through the years, I've always been curious, and I've studied so many things, and once I started to discover body work and alignment technique, I took classes in Feldenkrais and the Alexander technique in addition to my ideokinesis work. I took so many different types of coaching classes. I've worked with many wonderful coaches and taken many training programs to clear my own energy and to develop my self-awareness and my skills and help myself get past my own blocks of finding out what it is I want to do, how to be fulfilled and happy in life. So with that experience, I can share that with my clients.
Well, great, Christine. That I noticed one of the things that you left out of your background, that your knowledge base is very helpful with clients, is the kinetic awareness, that the use of the balls, that having that combined knowledge with the Feldenkrais and ideokinesis can be very helpful to clients. And I think that in this area you have a sensitivity for the full range of working with people, from children to teenagers to young adults to adults to seniors. That I think a key aspect of your background is that you have a uniquely sensitive other orientation that gives you a gift of being able to hear and feel what other people seem to be feeling. For example, I've observed you where you've been able to walk into a room and just get a sense that, oh, this person, I believe they're hurting right now. And so that is a very good gift. In terms of my background, I have a PhD in transformative studies. I produced the first published study connecting grief, stress, and nitric oxide. I have a master's degree in psychology, and I'm a certified practitioner of NLP, a certified practitioner of Ericksonian hypnosis, and a certified practitioner of open focus. I am also a published author, and I write a monthly stress and anxiety magazine and online articles.
Thank you so much, Bob. And thank you for mentioning my interest in body work. I must say that's one of the things that we bring to what we do, that we're not only looking at the mind, we're looking at the body, and we understand the importance of paying attention to how our body feels, where we might be in pain, the range of motion that we have, where we experience stiffness or immobility or have an injury. So certainly my background in dance and ideokinesis and other body work, I've often paid attention to that, and you too, although you are highly auditory, you also have a very strong kinesthetic awareness. So we do bring that to our clients. Bob, how would you describe the type of coaching that you do?
Well, Christine, I describe myself as a wellness coach. I use a holistic approach which seeks to help clients reduce and manage their stress, anxiety, chronic pain, and help them recover from grief. Overall, I would say that my approach helps clients identify their top pain points so that those pain points can be lessened, managed, or dissolved. The approach that I use seeks to give clients the tools they need to be able to handle their stress in real time, and that's really the point, that the techniques that I train people to use, it allows them in the moment when the event is happening to be able to either dissolve it or correct it or stop it right when it occurs. This way that there's no buildup in the body or the mind or in your thinking, and that often can lead to chronic disease states and illness. I work with clients primarily by phone with email support. I also do in-person sessions when a client is nearby. And as you know, we also do group coaching at workshops we give.
Thanks so much, Bob. You know, I got into coaching, as I said, because I always wondered how some people were able to get things done very easily while others were struggling and working hard for years without being able to achieve their goals and desires. And that seemed very odd to me. It was sad. It was puzzling. You know, I'm an idealist at heart, and I'm just, well, why can't we all have what we want? And, you know, in my search, I came across the work of Barbara Scheer, particularly her book, Wishcraft. And she just had a very simple formula. You brainstorm, and then you barn raise. And that seemed so easy to me. You get help, you get support, you get mentors. It's not a mystery. You identify what you want to do, and then you get help, and you take action, you get it done. So somehow that seems to be that it should be general knowledge, and we should all be able to do that. So that's why I coach. You know, I enjoy helping people the freedom that we have working independently and the flexibility and the fact that we're solution-oriented. We're about finding ways to make things work.
Great, Christine. It's been a privilege on this broadcast to introduce you and myself to our audience so that they can get a better understanding of what they can look forward to in future broadcasts.
Yes, Bob, it has been a privilege, and I would like to let our audience know that they can contact us and learn more about us and our services on our website, www.stressfreenow.info. Audience, you can sign up for our monthly newsletters to stay current on what we're doing and the services that we're offering. Again, that website is www.stressfreenow.info, and we do have a contact form on the site, so if you want to get in touch, just go to that Contact Us page and send us an email and let us know what your interest might be.
Great. Christine, thank you so much for that. And I want to ask you at this time, what is the best practice that you have that you could recommend to our audience as a tip for learning to live stress-free?
Well, I would say plan and play. My preference in life has been to work first and work later. And you've often, needed to encourage me to go out and play and to put my work aside. And what I have found is that if my planning is good, I can feel comfortable and know that I've gotten done what I need to get done or know that I'll do it at a later time. So when I plan, I'm able to prioritize and feel good about my work, and then I can go out and play. And I found that even just having a short bit of rest and relaxation each and every day is just a real boost. So I do make it a practice to engage in some form of play each day.
Great, Christine. And for myself, the tip that I would give our audience is actually threefold. The first is knowing that it's important to know and be aware of how you are paying attention. And by that I mean learning how to pay attention to how you pay attention so that you can learn to dissolve your stress more easily. The second thing is that as allowing yourself the privilege of self-care, I think that is very, very critical. And then the third thing is that a person should remember that what it's really about is that they are worthy and deserving.
Thank you so much, Bob. That's just extremely wonderful, and I think will be helpful to many of our listeners.
Yes, thank you, Christine. It's been wonderful doing this broadcast with you. So, listeners, we would like to thank you for joining us, and we encourage you to tune in again to future shows so that you can learn to live stress-free. For Christine Wright, this is Dr. Robert Wright, Jr. of www.stressfreenow.info. Until next time, be safe and be well.